The hum of existence is a silent deception. Every breath, every sunrise, every beat of your heart is tethered to an invisible, relentless force. Earth spins, always. But what if, in one impossible, terrifying instant, that ancient momentum simply ceased? What unspeakable chaos would erupt if the very ground beneath your feet betrayed its eternal promise? Consider your current state. You perceive yourself as motionless, anchored firmly to the ground, surrounded by familiar stillness. But this is the grandest illusion, a cosmic deception facilitated by the sheer scale of our existence. You, along with every city, every ocean, every mountain, are hurtling through space at an astonishing velocity, approximately 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. This constant, unyielding rotation is the silent engine of our world, shaping everything from the currents in the ocean to the very passage of time. To imagine its cessation is not merely to ponder a disaster. It is to unravel the very fabric of reality as we know it, to gaze into an abyss of unimaginable consequence. The instant of cessation would not be a gentle deceleration. It would be an abrupt, violent halt. Imagine being a passenger in a car traveling at immense speed, and the driver slams on the brakes, not merely to stop, but to freeze in place instantaneously. Everything not bolted down, everything without an anchor deep into the planet's core, would be flung eastward with the full, terrifying force of that accumulated rotational energy. Buildings, cars, trees, and every living creature would be transformed into projectiles, launched into the atmosphere at supersonic speeds. The very air around you, still carrying its eastward momentum, would become a devastating, supersonic hurricane, stripping the land bare of anything in its path, reducing civilizations to dust in mere seconds. The land itself would not fare much better. The sudden, immense stress on the Earth's crust would be catastrophic. Imagine the entire surface of a spinning top suddenly trying to stop while its core continues its rotation. Earthquakes of an unprecedented magnitude, tsunamis of unimaginable height, and volcanic eruptions unlike anything witnessed in geological history would tear through the continents. Mountain ranges would shatter, new fault lines would rip open, and the planetary crust would groan and buckle under the strain, transforming the familiar landscape into a maelstrom of destruction. The very ground beneath our feet, our ultimate anchor, would become our most brutal enemy, a shifting, collapsing surface eager to reclaim everything built upon it. The oceans, those vast, tranquil expanses, would become instruments of global annihilation. Due to the centrifugal force of Earth's rotation, the oceans currently bulge slightly at the equator. If the spinning stopped, this bulge would collapse. Water, still carrying its eastward momentum, would surge from the equator towards the poles in colossal, planet-spanning tsunamis. Walls of water miles high, traveling at speeds that defy comprehension, would sweep across entire continents, drowning everything in their path. The land masses would be scoured clean, not merely by the initial impact, but by the relentless, unceasing flow of water attempting to redistribute itself across a now stationary globe. The familiar coastlines would vanish, replaced by an inland sea of unparalleled devastation. Even if one could survive the initial impact, the atmosphere itself would be a deadly, inescapable force. The air, like everything else, possesses rotational momentum. If the Earth's surface suddenly froze, the atmosphere would continue its eastward rush, creating a perpetual, planet-wide supersonic wind. This would not be a storm. It would be a global hurricane of unimaginable ferocity, stripping away the last vestiges of life and structure. Buildings that somehow survived the initial jolt would be sandblasted into oblivion. Exposed skin would be flayed in an instant. The very act of breathing would become impossible as the air molecules slammed into any stationary object with incredible force, a constant, suffocating gale that never yields. Beyond the immediate apocalypse, the new, non-spinning Earth would transform into an alien landscape. One side of the planet would face the sun perpetually, plunged into an eternal, scorching day. Here, temperatures would rise to unbearable levels, baking the land, boiling any remaining surface water, and creating a desolate, arid wasteland where life, as we know it, could not endure. Conversely, the opposite side of the planet would be condemned to an endless, frigid night. Temperatures would plummet, freezing gases in the atmosphere, and creating an icebound realm shrouded in perpetual darkness. The delicate balance of warmth and light that sustains our ecosystem would be shattered, replaced by extremes of a truly cosmic scale. The Earth's rotation is not just about day and night. It's intricately linked to our very protection from the harshness of space. The spinning motion of Earth's molten outer core generates the planet's powerful magnetic field. This geodynamo creates a protective shield, deflecting harmful solar radiation and cosmic rays that would otherwise strip away our atmosphere and irradiate the surface. If the Earth stopped spinning, the core's movement would eventually cease, or at least drastically alter. The magnetic field would weaken or collapse entirely, leaving the planet exposed to the full, lethal fury of space. Any surviving life, clinging to a desolate existence, would face an invisible torrent of radiation, slowly but surely extinguishing the last embers of hope. The cessation of rotation would also unleash unimaginable forces upon Earth's internal structure. The immense centrifugal force from its spin causes Earth to bulge slightly at the equator and flatten at the poles. If this force vanished, the planet would attempt to redistribute its mass, slowly, agonizingly, reshaping itself into a more perfect sphere. This internal shifting would trigger constant, massive geological events on a scale we cannot fathom. The crust would continue to buckle and tear, causing perpetual seismic activity. The very core of the planet, no longer bound by rotational dynamics, might shift in unpredictable ways, creating stresses that could potentially tear the planet apart from the inside. Even if, by some miracle, life found a way to adapt to the new, extreme conditions, the ghost of the Earth's former momentum would remain. The very shape of the planet, its geological history, the distribution of its land masses, all bear the indelible imprint of billions of years of rotation. The memory of its spin would be etched into its very being, a silent testament to a time when life flourished under a rhythmic dance of light and shadow. The new Earth would be a monument to a forgotten waltz, a silent, static testament to a universe that once moved with grace. And what of our faithful companion, the Moon? Its orbit around a suddenly static Earth would become a strange, unsettling ballet. The Moon's gravitational pull, which normally creates our tides and is subtly affected by Earth's rotation, would still exist. But without the dynamic interplay of a spinning Earth, its influence would be altered, perhaps subtly at first, then more profoundly. The Moon would gaze down upon a planet divided, half scorched, half frozen, its familiar blue-green replaced by desolate browns and whites, a silent, unchanging sentinel to our global demise. Our night sky would still hold its familiar stars, but the Earth itself would have ceased to be a living, breathing world, becoming a static, broken monument to a failed promise. The molten core of the Earth, our planet's fiery heart, would gradually cool and solidify without the constant churning driven by rotation and convection. This slowing internal engine would mean the complete, irreversible loss of any protective magnetic field. The Earth would not just be static, it would be defenseless, a bare, vulnerable rock in the vast, unforgiving vacuum of space. The vibrant, dynamic system that once nurtured life would be gone, replaced by a cold, inert sphere. This is the ultimate silence, the end of all the unseen forces that make our world a sanctuary, leaving behind only the cosmic dust of what once was. We began by asking a question of impossibly sudden cessation, a theoretical cosmic nightmare. What we found was a profound, almost poetic reminder of the delicate, intricate dance that governs our existence. The Earth's spin is not just a scientific fact. It is a fundamental pillar of our reality, orchestrating the ebb and flow of life, light, and protection. Its absence would not be merely a disaster. It would be a total unmaking. The idea of Earth stopping its rotation is a terrifying thought experiment, but it underscores a deeper truth. We are mere passengers on a grand, spinning vessel, utterly dependent on its ancient, relentless motion. Perhaps, the next time you watch a sunset, you'll feel the silent, impossible speed beneath your feet and understand the fragile miracle of this spinning world. The universe holds countless such delicate balances, waiting for us to ask the right questions. Are you ready to explore the next great cosmic secret hidden in plain sight?